Throughout his professional journey, do you think Tom Cruise has made more adversaries than allies? From fiery interviews to shocking revelations about Tom Cruise, get ready to uncover the untold stories from those who saw through his star-studded facade and felt compelled to raise a cautionary flag. So, let's dive right in. Rourke Newton by Upy. Newton's feud with Tom Cruise was born out of her experience working with him on the 2000 film Mission Impossible. In a candid interview with Vulture, Thandie Newton revealed the reasons why her collaboration with Tom Cruise turned into a challenging and intimidating ordeal. Thandie recounted that she was never offered another role in the Mission Impossible franchise, and when asked why, she attributed it to her apprehension and fear of Tom Cruise himself. She described Cruise as an extremely dominant individual who exerted considerable effort to appear as a nice person. However, beneath this facade, she noted that he was often stressed and assertive on set. One specific incident that added fuel to their feud occurred during the filming of a night scene on a balcony. Thandie expressed her frustration, describing the scene as poorly planned. Tensions flared between her and Cruise, resulting in mutual anger and dissatisfaction. Adding to the complexity of the situation, Thandie revealed that, unbeknownst to her and others, Cruise had made a decision at the start of the movie not to speak English, a choice that seemed advantageous to him, but was detrimental to the rest of the cast and crew. Thandie's portrayal of the situation conveyed the idea that Tom Cruise's perfectionism and his relentless pursuit of excellence in his work could be overwhelming for those working alongside him. Despite the challenges and the pressure she felt during the filming, Thandie Newton emphasized that she did not harbor negative feelings toward Tom as a person. She acknowledged that he wasn't necessarily a terrible individual, but attributed his behavior to the immense stress and the high standards he placed upon himself, believing that only he could achieve tasks at the highest level of excellence. Brad Pitt. The feud between Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise is a long-standing and contentious one that has persisted for over 25 years, fueled by their experiences working together on the 1994 film Interview with a Vampire. Despite both being A-list actors with successful careers, their collaboration on this movie seemed to spark a deep-seated rivalry. The tension between Pitt and Cruise began to escalate during the filming of Interview with a Vampire. Although the film received critical acclaim, including Oscar and Golden Globe nominations, Pitt openly admitted that he had an unpleasant experience on set, and that Tom Cruise's presence didn't make it any easier. Pitt's feelings towards Cruise became abundantly clear when he was asked about his co-star in an interview. Brad Pitt did not hold back in expressing his frustration and resentment toward Tom Cruise. He candidly stated, "He bugged me," revealing that their interactions were characterized by a constant sense of competition. Pitt portrayed the dynamic by likening Cruise to the North Pole and himself to the South, suggesting that Cruise was always overly enthusiastic, whereas he preferred a more casual approach to interactions. The feud took a twist in 2009 when both actors were involved in World War II dramas. Brad Pitt starred in Inglourious Basterds, a film that was well received by both critics and audiences, while Tom Cruise appeared in Valkyrie. Adding insult to injury, reports surfaced that Brad Pitt had openly labeled Tom's film as ridiculous, further intensifying their rivalry. The feud between Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise highlights the complexities and rivalries that can exist within the highly competitive world of Hollywood, with their initial clashes on the set of Interview with a Vampire continuing to influence their interactions and public perceptions of their relationship in the years that followed. Brook Shields. Brook Shields found herself entangled in a feud with Tom Cruise, and the conflict stemmed from Cruise's public criticism of her decisions related to postpartum depression and motherhood. Cruise's remarks triggered outrage and a passionate response from Shields. The feud ignited when Tom Cruise publicly shamed Brook Shields for her use of antidepressants to cope with postpartum depression. Cruise asserted that medication was merely a means to cope and did not provide a cure, adding that there was no scientific basis for such treatment. His comments were widely perceived as condescending, as he questioned the validity of using medication for postpartum depression. But the feud didn't stop there. Cruise took it a step further by expressing his concern for Brook Shields' career, implying that her use of medication might have had detrimental effects on her professional life. This incited an even stronger reaction from Shields. Brook Shields refused to remain silent in the face of Cruise's criticism. She stood up for herself and advocated for women facing postpartum depression. Shields asserted that Tom Cruise should refrain from dictating how women should handle their postpartum depression and treatment options. She urged Cruise to focus on his efforts to save the world from aliens and leave these deeply personal decisions to the women who were experiencing postpartum depression. In a pointed remark, Shields highlighted the fact that Cruise had likely never personally experienced postpartum depression, emphasizing the lack of empathy in his comments. She characterized Cruise's remarks as a disservice to mothers everywhere, advocating for greater awareness and understanding of the serious and complex issue of postpartum depression. Brook Shields' response to Tom Cruise's comments demonstrated her determination to stand up against what she saw as a disregard for the struggles faced by women dealing with postpartum depression, turning the feud into a conversation about a vital issue affecting countless mothers. Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's feud with Tom Cruise stemmed from a controversial statement made by Tom Cruise in 2013. Leaked court documents revealed that Tom Cruise had compared the intensity of working on a film to the experience of fighting in Afghanistan. This statement immediately struck a nerve with Mark Wahlberg. The feud escalated when Mark Wahlberg was promoting his film, Lone Survivor, a movie based on the actual events of the failed 2005 mission known as Operation Red Wings. In the film, Mark portrayed a Navy SEAL, and during an interview, he was asked about the challenges and difficulties of shooting the movie. Mark's response turned into an angry rant in which he expressed his strong disapproval of actors comparing their experiences to those of military personnel. He passionately exclaimed, "For actors to sit there and talk about, 'Oh, I went to SEAL training and I slept on the floor. I don't give an F what you did. You don't do what these guys did.' For somebody to sit there and say my job was as difficult as somebody in the military's, how effing dare you, while you sit in a makeup chair for 2 hours?" Mark emphasized the stark contrast between the challenges faced by actors and the sacrifices made by members of the military, highlighting the apparent absurdity of the comparison. In response to the backlash generated by Mark Wahlberg's comments, Tom Cruise's lawyers quickly intervened, claiming that Tom had been joking when he made the initial statement. They also asserted that Tom Cruise was a staunch supporter of the troops, attempting to diffuse the tension surrounding the feud. However, despite the legal maneuvering and the attempt to clarify Tom's intentions, the tension between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Cruise remained palpable, leaving a lasting mark on their relationship. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin found himself in a feud with Tom Cruise, and the spark for this rivalry came from a humorous, yet pointed comment made by Baldwin during the 2009 Elle magazine's Women in Hollywood Dinner and Awards show. Baldwin, a fellow actor and host of the event, didn't shy away from addressing the issue of gender-based salary disparities in Hollywood. During his hosting duties, Baldwin humorously suggested a solution to the wage gap between male and female actors, a problem prevalent in the industry. He quipped, "I believe we can balance the scales if Tom Cruise would lower his quote by a mere $29 million. Baldwin acknowledged the potential unfairness of singling out Cruise in absentia, but emphasized the larger point he was making about income disparities. Baldwin's comment was met with laughter from the audience, even including Tom Cruise's then-wife, Katie Holmes, who seemed to join in on the light-hearted moment. The joke didn't stop there, as Baldwin humorously downplayed his own earnings, stating that his annual salary was equivalent to the budget allocated for mints in one of his movies. However, beneath the humor, Baldwin's remark carried a kernel of truth. Variety reported that Tom Cruise was projected to earn a staggering $100 million or more from his upcoming movie, Top Gun: Maverick. Such an income would make it one of the most substantial paydays ever for an actor in a single film. Alec Baldwin's light-hearted jab at Tom Cruise, although delivered in jest, drew attention to the significant income disparities in the film industry. While the feud may not have escalated into a full-blown confrontation, it highlighted the ongoing debate over wage equality and the staggering earnings of Hollywood's top stars. Katie Holmes. The tumultuous relationship between Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, once considered a Hollywood power couple, culminated in a shocking divorce announcement in 2012. Their split sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment industry and fueled numerous rumors and speculations regarding the reasons behind their separation. Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise's romance had been characterized by a whirlwind courtship, culminating in a lavish Italian wedding ceremony. Their union also marked the birth of their daughter, Suri Cruise, a moment of joy and celebration in their lives. Therefore, the news of their impending divorce came as a surprise to the public and their fans. One of the central factors leading to their divorce was reportedly Katie Holmes's reluctance to raise their daughter within the Church of Scientology, of which Tom Cruise was a devoted member. This alleged aversion to the church served as a major point of contention in their relationship. In a significant revelation, Tom Cruise himself confirmed this aspect during a deposition in 2013, acknowledging that it played a role in the divorce proceedings. Further emphasizing the gravity of the situation, Tom Cruise disclosed that Suri, their daughter, who was only 7 years old at the time, was no longer an active member of the Church of Scientology. This revelation was particularly striking because individuals who disassociate from the church often face estrangement from fellow practicing members, implying a potential rift within the family. As part of the divorce settlement, Katie Holmes was granted sole custody of Suri Cruise, a decision that reportedly included stringent stipulations to ensure that the child would not be exposed to any Scientology-related activities or beliefs. This arrangement underscored the extent of the divide between the couple regarding their daughter's upbringing and religious influence. In the years that followed, reports suggested that Tom Cruise had limited contact with his daughter, with some sources indicating that he hadn't seen her for an extended period. The ongoing disconnect between Tom and Katie, as well as the circumstances surrounding their daughter, Suri, continued to be a subject of public interest and speculation, further fueling the complexities of their post-divorce relationship. Leah Remini. Leah Remini, a former longtime member of the Church of Scientology and star of The King of Queens, found herself in a feud with Tom Cruise after she opened up about her experiences within the church in her 2015 memoir titled Troublemaker. Her revelations didn't sit well with Tom Cruise, a prominent figure within the church. In her book, Remini not only delved into her own experiences, but also made startling allegations about various well-known Hollywood celebrities, shedding light on some unusual incidents she had encountered during her time in the church. One of the anecdotes she shared involved an invitation to Tom Cruise's Beverly Hills mansion, where he had gathered a group of well-known Scientologists and other celebrities, including Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. During this peculiar gathering, Tom Cruise surprised everyone by announcing his desire to play hide-and-seek and pressured all the guests to participate in the game. This unusual request left an indelible impression on Remini and underscored the eccentricity of her experiences within Scientology. Another bizarre incident Remini recounted was Tom Cruise's reaction to a simple request. Once, when he expressed a craving for cookies, he found a package of pre-packaged cookie dough on the counter. However, instead of calmly inquiring about it, Tom displayed a tantrum-like reaction, demanding, "Guys, where's the cookie stuff?" His behavior in this situation seemed childlike, as if he had never been accustomed to being told no, and he reportedly vented his frustration by screaming at his assistant. Remini's outspokenness didn't stop at sharing these anecdotes. When Tom Cruise's movie Top Gun: Maverick was released, she took the opportunity to caution fans against supporting him. She warned against being swayed by his movie star charm and declared her refusal to watch the film or endorse Tom Cruise, labeling him as a scam of a man. Her unapologetic stance made it clear that she was not one to forgive or forget, especially when it came to her experiences within Scientology and her interactions with Tom Cruise. John Travolta. The feud between John Travolta and Tom Cruise, both prominent members of the Church of Scientology, can be traced back to a series of events that revealed underlying tensions between the two actors. In 2008, Tom Cruise received the church's highest honor, the Freedom Medal of Valor, directly from the organization's leader, David Miscavige. This prestigious award is reserved for the most dedicated and committed members of the Church of Scientology. Tom's recognition with this medal was a significant achievement within the organization. However, this recognition did not sit well with John Travolta, who was also a high-ranking and active member of the church. Brendan Teague, a former bodyguard from the church, disclosed in 2018 that John was furious about Tom's accolade. Travolta's frustration was twofold. First, he felt that he had contributed significantly to the church and was, in his eyes, the most dedicated member. Second, he believed that he had introduced more individuals to Scientology than any other celebrity. John Travolta's growing resentment toward Tom Cruise eventually reached a breaking point. In an act of frustration and anger, he penned a scathing letter to David Miscavige, the church's leader. In this letter, Travolta reportedly questioned the significance and purpose of the Freedom Medal of Valor awarded to Cruise. This action indicated his deep disappointment and sense of betrayal over not receiving the same honor himself. One factor exacerbating their feud was the belief held by Travolta that he deserved the recognition more than Cruise due to his contributions and efforts within the church. The apparent favoritism toward Tom strained their relationship further. Adding to the tensions between the two actors was the fact that John Travolta was not invited to Tom Cruise's wedding with Katie Holmes, which occurred just 2 years before the Freedom Medal of Valor was awarded to Cruise. This exclusion from a significant life event likely fueled Travolta's resentment, making their relationship even more contentious. The feud between John Travolta and Tom Cruise within the Church of Scientology can be traced back to Tom's receipt of the prestigious Freedom Medal of Valor and John's belief that he deserved the honor more. This discord was intensified by Travolta's exclusion from Tom's wedding to Katie Holmes, and his perception of being overshadowed by Cruise within the church. Their relationship was marked by jealousy, frustration, and competition within the Scientology community. Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke, the former boxer turned actor, left no room for ambiguity in expressing his unfavorable views on Tom Cruise during a recent interview with Piers Morgan Uncensored. Rourke's disdain for Cruise was unmistakable and rooted in several incidents over the years. The interview began with a mention of Tom Cruise's highly successful movie, Top Gun: Maverick, which had grossed over $1 billion at the box office. However, Rourke dismissively stated that this accomplishment held no significance for him. In his eyes, Cruise had been playing essentially the same character for a staggering 35 years, and this lack of variation in his roles left Rourke with no respect for him as an actor. Rourke went on to contrast Cruise with actors whom he admired and enjoyed, highlighting the stark difference he perceived in their careers compared to Cruise's. This not-so-subtle critique underscored Rourke's belief that Cruise's acting abilities were lacking in comparison to his peers. When questioned about whether he regarded Cruise as a talented actor, Rourke responded unequivocally by stating that Cruise was irrelevant in his world. This candid statement left no doubt about Rourke's low regard for Cruise's acting skills and reputation in the entertainment industry. Rourke also recalled a past incident in 2005 when Tom Cruise publicly criticized Brook Shields for her use of antidepressants. In response to Cruise's remarks, Rourke vocally defended the importance of therapy and medication. He credited his therapist with saving both his life and his career and vehemently dismissed Cruise's stance on therapy. Rourke's sharp comment, "F him," underscored his strong disagreement with Cruise's views. Furthermore, Rourke criticized Cruise's position on therapy, highlighting the fact that Scientologists, like Cruise, strictly oppose psychiatry and therapy due to their core beliefs. Rourke's final comment, "Let the Scientologists go effing live on a planet of their own," highlighted his frustration with Cruise's alignment with Scientology and its stance on mental health treatment. In summary, Mickey Rourke's feud with Tom Cruise stemmed from his perception of Cruise as a one-dimensional actor with a limited range of roles and his outspoken disagreements with Cruise's views on therapy and Scientology. These sentiments were expressed candidly and firmly during the interview, leaving no doubt about Rourke's unfavorable opinion of the Hollywood star. Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman's feud with Tom Cruise is rooted in their tumultuous and highly publicized marriage, which remains one of Hollywood's most talked-about relationships even decades after its end. The two Hollywood stars first crossed paths while Cruise was still married to Mimi Rogers. However, Cruise eventually divorced his first wife in February of 1990. Less than a year later, he and Nicole Kidman exchanged vows, marking the beginning of a highly scrutinized union. During their marriage, Nicole and Tom adopted two children, Isabella Jane and Connor Anthony, and they also starred together in a couple of films. Despite their seemingly glamorous life, their marriage was far from perfect. The cracks in their relationship became evident as they faced various challenges. In 2001, after a decade together, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise announced their divorce. Nicole looked back on their marriage and expressed how young and unprepared she felt when she got married, indicating that she was taken by surprise by the divorce itself. She revealed that during her marriage, she experienced feelings of isolation, even during her moments of professional success. She famously described winning an Oscar as holding a gold statue, while feeling like the loneliest she had ever been. The divorce proceedings between Nicole and Tom quickly turned messy, with a custody battle over their children becoming a central point of contention. Allegations arose that Tom had turned their children against Nicole, leading to a contentious legal battle. Ultimately, Tom was granted full custody of their kids, and he reportedly raised them within the Church of Scientology, which added another layer of complexity to their strained relationship. Despite the heartbreak and the challenges she faced during and after the divorce, one iconic moment that stands out is the photograph of Nicole Kidman leaving her attorney's office, captured in a moment of jubilation and relief after the finalization of their divorce. This image serves as a symbol of her triumph over a challenging period in her life. What do you think about Tom Cruise's feud with his co-stars? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.